It's a huge honor to have Mr. Intishal with us. He's the festival director at El-Gouna Film Festival, the second edition. Pleasure having you, sir, on Bollywood Hungama, first of all.
Hi.
All right, so the first festival must have been a tough one because everyone had these apprehensions that how it will just pan out. Were you happy with the sort of response that you got? You got Oliver Stone came here, Vanessa Williams was here, Forrest Whitaker was here. There were so many dignitaries who came from all across the world and just made it such a successful festival last year.
Actually, what made the festival successful is not only the number of the big stars coming to the festival, but also, and not only because of the very good opening, very good closing, and very huge and wide red carpet, but also with the other activities the festival is providing. Because if you will look at the festival in that perspective, for the opening and red carpet and the number of the stars, the festival will be will have negative reception without the balance of a very good program and very serious and very interesting cinema platform. Because I believe to have such a kind of balance between all the big show things and with a very good and very strong program, this is give the success of the festival. Last year, we managed to have probably the best films of the world. I mean, we had all the winners of Venice, Toronto, and San Sebastian, and including all the winners from the beginning of the year: Sundance, Rotterdam, Berlin, Calvary, Locarno, Cannes, and also other huge festivals. This year we repeat the same model of the last year. Actually, there is very few festivals which start that huge. I mean, many friends who advise me not to invite a big list of guests. Many people told me that I should not start single platform from the beginning. Friends who love me told me don't insist to have only the films of that year. We did the opposite. We did big festival, also is a huge number of the guests, and we started from the beginning with the cinema platform, our industry arm. Many people ask us why this success, why that big coverage? Because I believe no international festival in the region, including Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Marrakesh, Carthage, had that huge coverage than what we had last year and we had this year. I mean, since '66, well, the first film festival in the region, which is Carthage, no festival in the region received that number of the movie stars. I mean, last year we had about 90 movie stars on the red carpet. This year, more than 130 movie stars in the opening and closing. To know and to look for the reason why all this success, I believe, because first of all we had a very strong vision. We have we learned from all the mistakes of other festivals. We learned from all the success of the previous festivals. I believe that we look to ourselves not as a first edition last year, and we don't look to ourselves as a second edition this year. We look that we are continue the work of festival since Venice till this moment, or from other Arab countries since Carthage till this moment. This success is because we are not only working as a management, not only as a team, not only as a volunteers, but we are surrounding with a love and participant of big community of stars, filmmakers, cinema lovers, and audience. The excitement around the festival make it happen. I mean, I believe that we have some mistakes, some problems, I mean, our team, 80% of our team, they are not only didn't work in other festivals, they didn't even visit any festival before this first edition, and we have the same team for the second year, and they're doing very well. And the atmosphere around things and the energy. We might be this year more organized. We might have more experience, but I always saying to my team that we should keep the excitement, to keep the energy. Without this energy, you will not have any result.
You mentioned about various films who made a big impact in various other important festivals like Cannes and Sundance and Toronto. In fact, I think you guys have had a unique distinction last year that one of your films, Yomadin, it had I think 2 huge screenings in El-Gouna. And at the same time, I think it went on to just earn so much of distinction all across the world. I think it went to Cannes after this, and it got a great response. Do you find that as a victory for yourself, that a film that you guys believed in, and it went on to create such an impact worldwide?
Personally, I have a very long story with this film, because this film based on a short film called The Colony. That film was screened in a festival in Rotterdam, our film festival, where I was the artistic director. And later on, this film received the fund of Senate when I was the head of the Senate Film Fund. And last year, we have it in the El-Gouna platform. I won an award and went to Cannes. And I was witness in Cannes, and I probably have the best video of this uploading. I mean, 15 minutes of welcome to the filmmaker. After that, it's actually a victory for us. And this is not the only film. We always trying to support Arab cinema, especially. As you know that our program is international. That means all the competition, even the official program outside the competition, even our side programs or special programs, it's all international. I mean, we don't look to ourselves as Egyptian Film Festival. We don't look to ourselves as an Arab Film Festival. We are international, but the only part where we look to that as a focus on Arab cinema is the El-Gouna platform. And in the programming is the award, which is the best Arab film in each competition. First of all, a bridge between Arab filmmakers and international. We would like to have a possibility to push the Arab cinema all over the world. If you go to Calvivari, you will see international film festival, but there is an accent on the Eastern European films. If you go to San Sebastian, you will see it's international film festival, huge international festival, but also there's accent on Latin American films, or Durban African, or Busan Asian. We would like to have our festival as an international film festival where you can find the best films all over the world, but there is a focus on Arab cinema. And this focus, you can see that 1/3 maximum of the films in the competition is Arab films, and also the El-Gouna platform, as I mentioned, which is only Arab. It's Arab activity. That means only projects from the Arab world. That means only director or producer can submit their films. And this year we received 145 submissions, which is a record because last year we managed only to have 55 projects. And we skew to these projects, first of all, meeting with the jury, and this jury will give $175,000, which is also a big record. Also, they will meet mentors to benefit from their advice, and they will meet more than 100 professionals, distributors, producers, film festival directors, and film fund directors, and different institutions. So why this part? This is our way to support Arab cinema. But also we have another way to support Arab cinema, where we become the place where we can send all the Arab films to be in international festivals. I mean, there are several films which we can enjoy the world premiere with us. We help them to go to different film festivals before us, like Venice and Toronto especially. Regarding the success of sending more projects, I believe that will be witnessed in the next years for that, because some of the projects now they are in development stage, and some of them in post-production. That means post-production they might be ready in the next 3 or 4 or 6 months, but the development they could be ready after 2 or 3 years, or 1 year or 2 years. That's why this is we will continue that process, and we will continue feeding Arab cinema.
So the entire Arab region, the way it is, expressing yourself, freedom of expression, the entire idea of cinema, that in itself is a bit of a revolution. It's like a challenge in itself, because of certain restrictions that are there. That if you're expressing yourself in a certain manner, that in itself is maybe not correct, right? How crucial is it for cinema filmmakers in this region to just express themselves and to get recognized, and to just come in festivals like this so that they can share their ideas and thoughts with other filmmakers? You had this wonderful session on refugees, which is, I think, amazing to just get a perspective of how the entire situation is in a lot of countries, especially in the Arab region, because of whatever is taking place. But you have filmmakers from Syria, you have filmmakers from Iraq, for that matter, which I think you are inherently belong to, and Lebanon, and all over the place, which is extremely interesting. So it's not merely a means of entertainment for these guys. It's, I think, a very important means of communication, of expressing themselves, as well as just finding some sort of solace as well. In that context, how do you look at cinema in this region and the role of your festival?
As you know, that the situation of Arab cinema is growing very well. I mean, I am opposing the idea or the thought saying that we have crisis of Arab cinema. There's a crisis of the support of Arab films from the governments, from the institutions, but in the same time there is a lot of adventure filmmakers who are trying their better themselves to work in this environment. I mean, many of them, they will do their films with low budget. Some of them, they spend all their save for these films, trying to catch here or there some fund. Starting with the film, they don't know if they will finish or not. But in general, the result is unique. I mean, this year we have 6 films in Cannes, which is a record. We have 2 films in the competition, 2 films in certificate, 1 film in certificate, 2 films in certificate, sorry, and 1 in Cannes and 1 in Critics Weeks. There is more than 13 films in Berlin, 5 films in Venice, 7 films in Toronto, Cardival and Locarno also with a number of films. That is the result of work of generation, especially the young generation, because if you look to the statistic of the last 15 years, you will see that 70% of the awards given to the Arab filmmakers is to the first and second feature. That's mean this is a young, this is the future. This year, the winner of the Future Lion in Venice was a Syrian filmmaker with her first film, which is here in El-Gouna. When I lost my the day I lost my shadow. This all saying that we are sort of in the right direction, where we will benefit from all the new technology. We will also benefit from the communication between all over the world. I mean, between our filmmakers and foreigners. I mean, many of these projects went through to different markets, different monitors. Then there is a new way of producing film at this moment. I mean, we forget the traditional way where circulating the distribution in the countries. And also there is several factors. One of the factors that Saudi Arabia, the first time, came to the market. I mean, this will change a lot, especially in not in the arts cinema, but at least with other other films. Always, I believe that many Arab filmmakers trying their best, and they will succeed because when you put all your energy and your soul in somewhere, you will succeed.
I was speaking to Deborah Young, the journalist from Hollywood Reporter, yesterday, and even she was of the opinion that even she was quite surprised with the choice of films, which is rather progressive, say for films like Shoplifters and Ricordi, and there are several others for that matter, which are from the European region. They are showcasing things the way they would want to. It's like the freedom of expression. There is absolutely no compromise on that. And you had this amazing session on women empowerment as well, where women spoke the way they would want to. In fact, some of them, they were even of the opinion that there should be like a festival director who should be a woman. I think you were present at that session at that point of time. So how important was it for you that you showcase films the way they should be, the way people would want to watch them, irrespective of the fact that there can be certain forces who can have certain issues in terms of the way they are being expressed, in terms of be it nudity or the language?
Actually, when we choose our program, I mean, this is Amir MC, the artistic director, and me and other programming, we don't look at statistics. I mean, statistics come later. I mean, first of all, we look to the artistic value of the film, then the cinematic language of the film. This is, for us, is the most important. Of course, we go to different festivals around the world. I mean, when I will finish our edition, I will go to Busan, and from Busan I will go to Carthage, Marrakesh, Cape Town, Macau, and Sananik. We will, and the next year also we'll go to several festivals, and also we have a lot of relationship to filmmakers and producers and different institutions to attract films. For us, first of all, we will look to the artistic value, and we look to that these films should be very fresh. Very fresh. I mean, all of them. This year was 2018. We had only the Arab premieres. That's been all these films. It's the first time in the Arab world, which is a big world. It's 23 countries. And also many of their films, if they are not world premiere or international premiere, they are the second screening all over the world, because we are having a very risky time. 5 days after Toronto, 2 weeks after Venice, and 50% of our selection is from these two festivals or the world premiere. That means it's very new films. We count all these factors together when we choose film. Should be new, should be strong, should be. After that, when we finish the selection, we will know that how many women directors, how many films about humanity, how many films related to this country or there. But the only thing that we know that the Arab films in the competition should be not exceed more than 1/3 of the competition, because we are reflecting all over the world, and I don't want the Arab films to be more than that. We, as I told you, that we had this year the two winners of Berlin. We had the winner of Sundance and Rotterdam. We had, I think, 7 films from 9 the winners of Cannes. We had the cream of Arab cinema, if they are participating in Cannes or Venice or Toronto. We had 23 short films, 14 of them world premieres, and 7 among them 8 Arab films, all of them in world premiere. All this give you opportunity to be attractive to other. I mean, the head of the narrative jury told me that he'd never watched any of the 15 films in the competition before he's coming here. And this is a big professional internationally. For the press, for the audience, approximately 95% is a new film. That's why our audience yesterday, we reached more than all last year audience, and we are expecting more.
Where do you see El-Gouna Film Festival in the next 5 years?
I think we should grow. We should first of all look to our mistakes. We should look very carefully to the need from other people to because with the first and second edition, maybe they will forgive you for your mistake. I mean, some not perfect work. If we will go in continue the right direction, I think first of all this is become the leading festival in the Arab world, in the entire Arab world, and this is the place where professionals from all over the world, if they would like to meet, especially with the Arab cinema, they will come here. That's going to be a fixed rendezvous of international community, cinema community, and I believe we will be more recognized internationally, and we will have more world and international premieres. It will be easier for us to receive films. For example, this year we invited 80 films. We got from them 74 films. This is again a record, because no festival has a luxury in Europe or United States, because there's different festivals there and they're competing now. This year nobody was competing with us. I mean, what we asked, we received, and the other will get the rest.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to us, sir. It was really insightful, the way you explained the entire thing. I think a very important festival, and I think thoughts that you have, especially for this entire region, because Hollywood is different, Bollywood, it has its own charm. But for this region, I think cinema, there's much more to it in terms of expressing themselves the way they want to, which is, I think, really commendable. Thank you so much, sir. Lovely talking to you. Thank you very much. That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.